I like walking, which I think is all I'm going to say for the intro for this video, because the title sort of says it all. I did 20,000 steps a day for 30 days. Pretty self-explanatory. Pretty extreme of me. Pretty hardcore. Wow, he's so brave. I could never do this. I bet no one has ever attempted this on YouTube. I can usually tell how I'll feel at the end of challenges like this early on, but that wasn't the case with this one. Good morning. Day one of my challenge to walk 20,000 steps a day. It's currently 7 in the morning and I've decided I'm going to go to the gym. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at me and you're going, of course you go to the gym, John. Look at you. You are an absolute physical specimen. But I'll be honest with you, I'm actually a reluctant gym goer. It's not something I enjoy doing. I do it because I have to. I'm really bad at exercise. That's why I need this challenge. So I've only just done over 5,000 steps and I've got to sit at a desk all day. So yeah, this is going to be fun, isn't it? This is going to be fun that I can put all that effort in and only be a quarter of the way through the challenge. Imagine if I didn't wake up early. This would be nearly impossible. So it's lunchtime and I've only done 8,000 steps today, which means I'm halfway through the day, but I'm not even halfway through my goal. So I've dragged Charlie out to come walk with me. What do you think of me doing this challenge?
Yeah, good effort.
Good effort?
Yeah.
But you're not doing it, are you?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I've been spending most of today just sat at my desk, so I'm walking around the house every now and again, getting up and moving, just to try and get a few more steps in, squeeze them in where I can. And I'll be honest with you, it's quite nice to have an excuse to get up and move around. This actually beeps at me at 10 minutes to the hour if I haven't done 250 steps yet that hour, and it encourages me to get up and move around. So it's probably a good thing that I'm just moving more, I think. I guess it's good. Are you a doctor? If there's a doctor out there, no one here's a doctor, are they? There's no way. If you're smart enough to be a doctor, then you're smart enough to avoid this channel. 20,000 steps done. Now I just got to do that 29 more times. Yay! Okay, we are a solid 2.5 minutes into this video and we've only just finished day one, and I have footage from every single day of this challenge, so we are nailed on for a feature-length epic unless we speedrun some of these days. And while we're at it, if you want a long informal cut to this challenge, you can find one over at Patreon. On day 2 I went for a really long morning walk, which meant I seriously overdid it on the step count. I seriously overdid it today. Day 3 I went to the gym, but it was inexplicably closed, so I went for a morning walk.
In a way, I'm sort of glad the gym was shut, because now I get to walk out here and I have it all to myself. This is beautiful.
Day 4, the gym was still closed, so I went for yet another morning walk and finished the day with a late jaunt out with Charlie when we saw some plants for sale.
So we've come across this little thing here where they're selling houseplants for £1, and I have £1.
And now I can look at that plant while I take a dump. So it's a bit of a tricky one today. Charlie and I are going away for a long weekend. It's bank holiday weekend here, and we have to drive in the car for about 2 or 3 hours time, which means for 2 or 3 hours I'm going to be getting no steps in prime walking time. So going to be a little bit trickier to get my steps in today. Except it wasn't at all, and I spent the next 2 days gaining my steps on the beach. I want to get my steps in on the beach every day. This is the most fun way to do it, genuinely. Before driving home on day 7, and honestly at this point I was finding the challenge easy. Why is this so hard? Oh yeah, that's right, I wasn't. Today I'm completely shattered, and I got my steps in because I had to. It's part of the challenge. But it was the toughest day today. For some reason, my legs just felt so heavy. And it's the first time where I thought to myself, wow, this is a really long challenge. I don't know if I can take a day off. Like, it's my challenge. I set the rules. I can do whatever I want. In fact, I can edit it so that you think I've done it. I'm torn about this challenge. Like, I really love that it has forced me to come out for a walk right now and be out here. But I'm out here because I've only done 10,000 steps today, which isn't normally too bad, but I've got a friend coming over this evening just after I finish work. So between now, about midday, and the end of the day, I've got to do 10,000 steps because I'm not going to get the chance to do it this evening. So right now, when I'm supposed to be working, I have to find time to go outside and walk. But when I'm outside, it gives me a lot of time to reflect on the work I've done and reprioritize what I want to do next. So I can't tell if this is brilliant, if it's terrible. Is it somewhere in between? It's probably in between. You know it's probably in between. But yeah, sort of annoying I have to be out here today, but also lovely. Despite being tired, I marched on through the next couple of days until I landed on day 11. So it's just gone 4 o'clock in the morning, and by virtue of me simply being up, I'm already getting my steps in. Charlie and I are heading to France today to see her dad. So it's an early start, and it's also a day, because we're flying, where it's going to be very difficult to get my steps in. But obviously I'll have to. Thanks to walking around the house, walking around the airport, and walking around a pool, I was able to get my steps in. Day 2 of being in France, and today is a beach day, and we're having to go for a walk to get the steps in, even though all we want to do right now is chill out on the beach. But not going to complain too much, because there's worse things, isn't there? I'm actually so happy right now that I have to do this walking challenge. I'd have never walked down here before, and this is gorgeous. I've come to this beach before and never seen this, so forcing myself to go out and get the steps has genuinely helped me discover something really cool and new, and something I'll probably do every time I come here in the future. This is gorgeous. I never actually told Charlie's family what I was up to, because I'm an awkward sod. So not only did I not film much in France, but I also had to sneak steps in where I could in an attempt to appear normal. Either way, I got my steps in every day before we made our way home. So it's day 15, and it feels like we've finally reached the tipping point, the point where it's just become normal now to go out and walk, and I now feel like there's something missing if I miss part of my routine. Like if I don't go out for a walk or go to the gym first thing, I start to crave that a little bit. Whilst we were away over the last few days with Charlie's dad, I really didn't like the lack of routine. I didn't like that I wasn't able to just go out for a walk. I am now craving going out and getting those steps in. So yeah, there's definitely been a change. Stop all that talking, got no drink in my cup. I can't wait too late to party. Hold on, help me catch up. So one of the reasons I chose to film this challenge now is because Charlie and I were going to go away to lots of interesting places in this time. So we went to Hastings on the bank holiday weekend, had a long weekend in France, and now Charlie and I are due to go on a sort of late summer holiday, because it's September, to Cornwall, which is quite a long drive away. We're stopping at my parents' on the way. But what I didn't anticipate is that I wouldn't be able to walk that much on the days where I travel. I thought about, getting to film in lots of interesting places and getting steps in interesting places, and wouldn't it be pretty and interesting and make my life look way more exciting than it actually is. But what I didn't anticipate was all the time spent in cars not getting steps in. So that's frustrating. The club is jumping, okay, we double dutch. Okay, stop all that talking, stop all that talking. So our first proper day of holiday, Charlie and I have found ourselves walking in a cornfield, and it's only now that I realise, I didn't realise corn got so tall. That's tall. Just move. Don't do me like that, don't do me like that, just move. Come to me like that, come to me like I'm too smooth. Don't do me like that, don't do me like that. So Charlie and I are walking around the Cornish coast today, and I'm not gonna lie, this feels like my reward for spending all those hours walking around inside my house. I'm walking around in my office, because don't get me wrong, those views were lovely in my office, of course, but that's all right, isn't it? Got a feeling it won't be my last time here. Maybe. What do you think? Should I do it? Should I do it? So the thing I think I haven't talked about yet with this entire process is how good this whole thing makes you feel. Like, it makes you feel good to be exercising, makes you feel to be going outside, makes you feel good to know that you're carrying yourself on your own your own puff
whatever you want to call it. That's good. And good to know that it's good for the environment. But the thing I haven't talked about enough, the thing that's really cool about this whole thing, is how smug it makes you feel. You look at other people and you think, I bet you've not even done 10,000 steps today, because the average person apparently doesn't. And I'm sitting here cracking on to 20. And I feel very smug. And when I see people are doing their 10k steps, I'm like, 10? Try double it, mate. So, yeah, feel like a step champion. And whenever I look at a normie as we call them in the step game, a regular stepper, I think to myself, I'm so much better at this than you. It's good to feel sort of smug. Nice to feel smug every now and again. I feel smug. Also, the views are good. Look at this. Or at least they're good if you do this in Cornwall. Charlie and I are in Newquay today, where the cool kids are surfing. But everyone knows that the cooler kids step. That's what they do. They walk one foot in front of the other, stepping. That's where it's at. They think they're cool because they're surfing, but actually what they should be doing is... It's windy. So it's the penultimate day of the challenge, day 29. And Charlie and I decided that we were going to go back to Dorset today to see my parents before going home. But it was going to be quite a heavy driving day. So we've stopped randomly, just at a random National Trust that we found on the way. This is a completely unplanned part of our holiday. And we did so because I needed to get my steps in. I'd done very few steps and had a lot more to do. And we've ended up in this gorgeous little part of Devon, which we would have never come to had I not needed to get my steps in. And having the goal of getting the steps in has forced us to come out here and explore somewhere completely new.
Here's the thing. I actually filmed this challenge a while ago, as you can probably tell if you're watching this. And I haven't started editing it until now. And I've only just realised that the audio from the last day is pretty messed up. And I can't remember exactly what I said. So here's the thing about this challenge. There was a lot which I really liked about it. It forced me to go outside. I got fitter. I actually lost weight, something which I didn't talk that much about in the video. And it also forced me to explore new places. And it was also very good for my mental health. Whenever I went out for a walk, I definitely felt like I cleared my mind and I felt like I could focus more on what I had to focus on once I returned from my walk. So from that point of view, the challenge was a success, which perhaps isn't that surprising if you're watching this. Why would doing exercise every day not be a good thing? But it wasn't without its negatives. There were times where the challenge felt like it was getting in the way, or where it was tedious, or where it felt like I was just getting steps for the sake of getting steps. They weren't actually that fun to get. And I didn't really get on that well with the Fitbit. There were never any days where I was surprised that I hadn't hit my target, or days where I was surprised that I had hit my target. I was usually pretty good at knowing roughly when I'd done enough steps. And I think that that is the case most of the time. You know, there's the target of 10,000 steps. I think most people know over the course of the day whether they feel like they've moved enough or not. And I think that was one of my problems with the challenge. The target, with all the benefits it brought, also gave me something to stress about and worry about and feel guilty about if the number on my wrist wasn't high enough. In this day and age, we're definitely obsessed with making sure our numbers are right. Did we get enough sleep? Did enough people like this photo? Am I getting enough steps in? And I think we end up getting stressed about things that we don't need to get stressed about. Because at the end of the day, the number wasn't the thing that mattered. The fact that I got outside and started exercising and felt healthy and felt like my mental health was good, that was the thing that mattered more than the sort of arbitrary number I was aiming for. So yes, this challenge was brilliant and I've kept getting my steps, but the Fitbit has come off because I'm not going to worry that much about a number on my wrist. Take from that what you will. I probably shouldn't make any more videos about walking. I've done way too many videos about walking. Right, see ya.